So here we have two brand new oud-based fragrances by the brand Soma. I actually did a video fairly recently where I covered a few of their other releases, so now I have two more from the brand to add to my collection. These two 2022 releases are called Oud Altius and Oud Fortius. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on them, also let you know how I find them to be different from one another, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I tell you all about these two fragrances, brand new oud-based fragrances from Soma Parfum, and I give you my thoughts on them, where to find them, what they smell like, the performance comparison, so on and so forth, I do want to start things off by saying that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon so you could be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel, and I upload on a daily basis. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, or if you took something of value from today's episode. Now, the perfumer for both of these is Dan Rothschild, and I know I did a kind of more of like an in-depth view on the brand and my initial thoughts on a few of their offerings. I'm going to leave a card to that up here, and I'm also going to do my best to remember to leave it down below. So I would definitely encourage you to go over and check out that video and then come back here for these two new releases. I know Soma has some really wonderful fragrances out there, and then here we have two fragrances, one of which actually gets compared to Ombre Nomade by Louis Vuitton, and that's an amazing fragrance, by the way. So let's just go ahead and start things off. And the first one, and I actually do like the change of the presentation here. You have the cap. This one is called Oud Fortius. So this is actually the fresher one of the two. So this is very citrusy, very bright, very spicy. It actually reminds me a lot of Scandal by Roja Parfum or New York Intense by Parfum de Nicolai. So it kind of has like that bright, citrusy, formal, gentlemanly, spicy kind of a vibe to it. And I really like that about this fragrance. So it opens up very bright. You definitely pick up on a few spices in here, maybe a little bit of cinnamon. And I think I saw caraway as well when I looked at the note breakdown. So it definitely has this very bright, effervescent feel to it. But of course, when you look in the note breakdown, you are going to pick up on the agarwood. And the agarwood here, it's not as strong as it's done in the other fragrance. So this is actually the brighter rendition of the two. But I really appreciate that, right? It kind of has this agarwood in the base, which is a tad bit animalic. And I think a lot of people who are into oud-based fragrances, you want an oud-based fragrance that smells animalic a little bit without necessarily smelling barnyardy, right? That's when it crosses the line for a lot of people, myself included, right? Although I really appreciate natural ingredients, especially when they're blended together very, very nicely. But I know a lot of times when it's overdone, you know, the perfumer is definitely taking a bit too much of a creative risk. That's not the case here. So you are going to get a very easygoing composition, and I really do appreciate that bright, vibrant freshness that this fragrance has to offer. And it kind of has like this blend of like Roja Parfum Apex mixed with Scandal with a hint of oud in the base. So really interesting, very well done. Love the spicy element that is in here, but given that inclusion of the agarwood, it definitely comes across smelling rather unique. And so it does have different elements to separate it from these other spicy, citrusy, gentlemanly fragrances that I alluded to earlier. And the next one is Oud Altius. And this is definitely this is the heavier one of the two. So if you want like a really heavy oud-based fragrance that also has a tad bit of like an ambery sweetness, some spicy elements, maybe perhaps a little bit of cardamom, and yeah, it definitely leans in a sweeter direction from time to time as well. So this one, I believe, is the one that has raspberry in the note breakdown. I haven't looked at the note breakdown for like a week and a half since I received these two bottles. But yeah, this smells like the one that has gotten compared to Ombre Nomade, and I do find the comparisons to be justified. I do find that this one has a bit of that sweetness to it, a little bit of spice, a little bit of that raspberry note in here, but it definitely has the agarwood and the amber in the base, and I think it's a blend of agarwood and sandalwood. So there's that creamy, rich sweetness that kind of combines with the other sweet ingredients, the sweet spices like the cinnamon, and of course the raspberry, which in and of itself is kind of sweet. So this is a great date night fragrance. You wear it on a night out, it will last a very long time, 9 to 10 hours on skin. The first one, Oud Fortius, this one lasted about 7 to 8 hours on my skin. So this one is probably going to give you an hour or two of better longevity. But with that being said, the composition is generally speaking a lot heavier. So if you want something like that, if you live in a colder climate where you seek something really long lasting, something strong, something that's going to get you noticed, if you are a fan of the note of agarwood, definitely try Oud Altius by Soma. It's a wonderful fragrance. I love the presentation. It has a very classy presentation. The box with the magnetic flap, and these two oud offerings have the black cap on them, different from the previous ones if my recollection is right. But these are wonderful fragrances for you to check out if you are a fan of oud, but also if you want to see oud being expressed in a couple different ways. So Oud Altius, heavier side, raspberry, bit of sweetness in there as well, some spicy elements. Oud Fortius, definitely much brighter, a bit of caraway, some other pleasant spices in there, but generally speaking, more of like a fresh take on the note of oud. In either case, I think both of them are solid. Definitely fragrances that you should check out. I believe Kingdom Fragrances has them currently, so I'm going to leave all of the appropriate links down below. They are not affiliate links. This is not a sponsored video. I'm not getting paid anything to say things about the brand, and I'm not getting any commissions from you making a purchase. I just simply wanted to cover these fragrances to expand the vast catalog of fragrances that I've been covering on this channel for 10 plus years. This is what I love to do. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what brings me a lot of solace and respite. And I want to thank you all so much for watching this channel. I hope you found something from this video useful. If you did, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon so you could be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It would really mean a lot to me. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.